Good morning. Welcome back. So, I have quite a bit I want to talk about today. Um, Also, I'm going to be doing my tarot posts probably tonight because I have a pretty busy week coming up. So, if you don't already follow me on Instagram, it's at Cosmic Fractal of Light. I do my tarot posts there. I've been noticing maybe I'm going to change it up because I've been noticing my talk to text isn't really working and I don't really have time to type it out. So I might start doing reels instead. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let's talk about operating in the 3D world once you raise your vibration. Okay, so a lot of us have 3D jobs. So the whole point of spreading love and kindness and all of that is because we're trying to raise the collective consciousness, kind of getting rid of the collective unconsciousness. So what we're doing is we're bringing the light to the darkness. That's bringing consciousness to the unconscious, illuminating it, healing it. And when you heal that within yourself, you become more conscious. You're expanding your consciousness. You're becoming more aware of the patterns that you've incarnated with to heal. Now, there's a wide range of collective unconscious patterns. From little things like people pleasing or one thing I'm experiencing right now is a lot of unconscious jealousy being projected at me. And this is something I've come up against a lot, even as a kid. My mom, I was talking with her this morning, and she said that I used to come home crying from school because people were mean to me. And she said, I always just had this really big personality. I used to want to be an actress. She said I always just really had this big personality and that people were jealous and that it really would hurt me. And back then I was a child and I didn't know how to deal with that. So I dulled myself down. I dimmed myself so that I can because a lot of the jealousy was coming from people that I loved, people that were my friends, people that were in my family. So I made myself smaller so that they could be happy, which was a huge mistake because in the end, I ended up alone and in patterning and in a bunch of bad unconsciousness that I didn't want to be in. And you guys, I worked around the clock tirelessly for 3 years before I got on YouTube and decided I can do this now because I was riddled with unconscious patterns and I was afraid to be seen. I was afraid to even go out of the house because I was afraid of people. I was just seeped in fear. So now I have learned to stand in my frame. So I am who I am, and now I have confidence because I'm good at the things I do. I know I'm good, and I know I've worked, like I said, tirelessly on myself to become the person who operates from a place of love and integrity today. So why wouldn't I be confident about that? I'm so proud of myself. I've come so far. If you guys would have known me or seen me back 10 years ago, it'd be unrecognizable. That person had low self-worth, that person had addictions, that person had, but you know what she also had was hope for a brighter future, and she took action steps to help me come to where I am today. So I am so proud of every version of me. So let's talk about back to jealousy. Okay, so let's say, first of all, let's talk about your choices, actually. If you need to be deciphering your choices, am I making this choice from a place of fear or lack? Because for me, when I see that come up, just yesterday, I didn't want to go to buy a salad from the store because I didn't feel like being around people, which I knew that was an old fear coming back up. So I was like, okay, now I have to go to the store because of that. Because then I would have fed that fear, and then that fear monster would get bigger. And, sometimes we're all human. We have human emotions. We're going to experience emotions. A lot of people in the spiritual community, are not about experiencing any bad emotions. We need to observe all of our human emotions because we came here to experience the full spectrum of the human experience. So when you feed that fear monster, it grows. When you feed love, it grows. So what do you want to grow? What are you growing? Okay, so the more I'm showing up confidently, the more people are trying to, like, control me. I notice there's a big control aspect, and it's not coming from just, like, one person. Like, there's multiple people around who are trying to, like, show their dominance over me. And I am uncontrollable because I'm my own person, and there's only one power I listen to, and that's my internal voice. I choose who I decide to listen to. When I go to job interviews, I look at the boss and I read the energies, and I decide based on, do I want to take orders from this person, right? Like, that's huge for me because I'm not going to give my power away to some asshole. That's not happening. I've already had asshole bosses before. That's not happening. So, once that happens, and you get in, right? So you're doing your thing, going about your day, and when you're in flow, you are lit up. People around can see that. But you are so, like, focused on your stuff. All right, then people will start talking shit, and then rumors are getting spread, and then da-da-da-da-da, it's happening. And it's fucking annoying. Yeah, it's really, really annoying. So there is something called covert narcissism. Now, these people, it's like, okay, so the regular narcissist wants the attention, and it's very, like, I mean, it's obvious when you see a narcissist. Covert narcissists like to pretend like they see that you have the light, so they like to pretend and, like, mimic that light. And then they like to purposely trigger you to see how mad you can get. Those are the people you're going to have to stand up to, or you're going to keep on attracting them into your life until you finally step up to them and say, no, sorry. You don't have to be a dick. We've talked about this. You do not have to be an asshole. You can just say, oh, no, thanks, that's okay. Like, go about your day. It doesn't fucking matter. These people are unconscious, so we don't need to be projecting shit onto them either. Like, the unconscious is the unconscious. I had done this meditation with Sophia. I don't know if you guys know Sophia Wisdom. It's a big energy. It's the wisdom of the universe. So I'm just going to read you what the message I got out of that meditation. Sorry, my phone's a little slow, but anyway, so you're gonna come against these people, up against, like, when you're playing a video game, you have to go through all these things to get, and then beat the boss and then level up, right? So, but you can't level up if you're not working with the experience. If you're not going into the battle and freaking getting your character to win more things, then you're not leveling up and you won't be able to beat the boss. So I feel like this is kind of similar. Your strength training. So, like, let's call strength training, like, leveling up. So, yeah, these people are assholes, but am I going to go home and cry about it? No, because they're unconscious. They could, instead of being jealous, they could go work on themselves and then become the best version of themselves. Because I didn't just get like this. I fucking worked hard to get this way. But they only see the end product, so they're just mad. They're just mad that you're there showing up, especially if they're narcissists and they want the attention and now you're getting the attention. It's disgusting, but it's unconsciousness. And yes, the unconsciousness is disgusting. And darkness is it gives me the ick. But you know what? I also had it. You know, we all do. And in order for me to work with people, I have to be able to stay conscious with their darkness. And if that's something that you aspire to do, that's something that you're going to have to learn to do too. Okay. People make the decisions they make. Nothing is good or bad, right or wrong, and everything serves. Everyone had patterns. None are better or worse than others. They are just all different patterns we have inherited from the collective unconsciousness to heal the human race. Abundance is my birthright. I will always be provided with more than I need. Everyone is so unique and different and has great qualities, and they are also fluid as well. Just as they have great qualities, they also have not so great qualities, but that's what the fluid part's about. We all experience emotions, so love people in all their forms. Your love is meant to be seen and felt because this world doesn't have enough of it. I release judgment completely as I see the truth and come into right thought and right relationships, right view and right concentration. So we can sit here and judge, and there is an aspect of judgment that serves. You need to be discerning. You can't control the people you work with yet. Like for me, once my business is booming and I get to create my own team, then I can pick. But right now, while I'm out there in the world, I have to work with the people that are around me. I'm not going to be a fucking asshole for the most part. So I might say some little sassy things because that's just part of my personality, but that's because also I don't let people push me around. But I'm still going to show up in a loving way every single day, regardless of how people feel about me, because that's really not my fucking business. So I like to think of it like this. What do you think Jesus did when people were coming after him? Like, we are here to spread love. Jesus is here to spread love. And yes, I can relate to Jesus because Jesus was a human too. And he was very spiritual and he learned how to do things. And I think we all always put Jesus onto this pedestal, but we can aspire to be like him. And he was... The only thing about Jesus' soul contract is that he gave away his free will to man. He was the seed that was planted to bloom the evolution of consciousness. So there's a bigger aspect to this. There's a lot. And what was served then and what served Buddha and what served a lot of the other religious leaders is not serving now because that part of the evolution has gone through. So we don't need to... Do you know what happened to... I want to say Avalon. I don't know if you guys know Avalon. So Lyran race, like Avalon was invaded, and they had no defensive. They were so nice and loving and caring that they didn't have any defenses against somebody that came in with malicious intent. So we don't want to be naive. We don't want to be wearing rose-colored goggles. No, people don't always have your best intention, and no, they aren't always going to evolve, and you're going to have to be all right with that. Because you're here to evolve, and so you're going to have to be fluid and change, ever-changing. Maybe the same people won't stay in your life. When it's time to leave the job, leave the job. When it's time to leave the relationship, leave the relationship. You have other things to do. You have other levels that you need to pass. You don't need to get stuck in something because you're attached to it. Like, this is not what we came here to do. We came here so that we can make a difference in the world, and that begins with making a difference in your own life. So... the more you're feeling confident about yourself, the more the world's going to try to shut you up by having all these little fucking things that are annoying as hell. So, like, a lot of times people act a certain way while they're unconscious. This happens a lot with drinking because people get drunk and do something stupid because drinking leads to unconsciousness. So when that happens, then they feel bad and apologize the next day because of the fact that they are becoming aware of their unconscious behavior, and now they have to apologize because they're like doing the cleanup, right? It's not about the mistake, it's about how you clean it up. So that can happen without alcohol. People are just unconscious. Sometimes they just slip into unconsciousness, especially on autopilot. So we can't really do anything about it. That's their stuff. There's the separation of tasks. I do my stuff about my life. I'm creating over here. This person's just being mad watching me do all this over here. And then they're going to come and they're going to cut it, and I'm going to, and then they're going to back up because that's what I do. With you, you don't want to be passive and let this person run around you and make you small and then make you scared and then hide back in your home, because we're meant to be seen. We're meant to be heard. We are meant to be making change in the world. You can try to do that from your room, but that means every single time that you go out, you're going to still feel that fear because you're not used to all the energies coming at you. There's a lot of energy out there. It's reps. You got to do your reps. Do your reps. Go out. Pay more attention to energies. Like, a lot of times we just want to shut down and be like, I used to do this. I'm in my bubble. I'm not fucking in. I don't care about anyone else's energy. But then guess what? That's how you get duped all the time, because you aren't paying attention to the energies. Reading that so that the next time a person comes around with that energy, then you're like, oh, I know this. Oh, we've played this game before. No, thank you. So, discernment is so important. I think I'm going to leave it here. Do I want to say anything else? I'm booking one-on-one sessions, but you have to DM me on my Instagram account. I think that's going to be all for today. So, I'll see you next time.